some calming ASMR. Normally, ASMR is associated with falling asleep. You listen to it at night when you're in bed. Put your headphones in, set your alarm. Make sure that the videos don't continue on to something loud. But I love to listen to ASMR when I wake up in the morning. I love it when the sun is streaming in through the window and I have my cup of coffee and I'm still listening to ASMR. It really welcomes the day, makes me really happy. So today I thought I would share with you all some objects in my room from my travels around the world. I have a lot of objects from places that I have traveled or things that people have given to me. And I will start off this session with some incense. I'm a very big fan of Japanese incense. This incense is called Hakuun, Hakuun, and it means white cloud. My incense bowl. Let me move my cup of coffee. Take one stick of incense. You can hear the sound of that incense. It smells amazing. Hints of cinnamon. Just broke it in half. So let's put one half in, and that will be good. I have with me my lighter. Let me light the incense. Then blow it out. That's how I usually start off my morning, with incense. Really, really lovely smell. So let me move this off to the side. Take a sip of my coffee. Now the first object I would like to show you is some coral. This coral is from a beach in Panama. Panama, 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 Panama. Panama, Panama, Panama. When I was in sophomore year of college, I spent a summer in La Ciudad de Panama, in the city of Panama. And 1 week that summer we went to the opposite side of the country on the Caribbean coast, where there are all of these beautiful, beautiful islands still managed by the indigenous population there. And we got to visit one of the villages there and swim in the ocean, and you could stick your hand down into the sand and pull up some of these pieces of coral. And so I kept them with me. I have another piece of coral. They're pretty loud on their own, but this one is really beautiful. How interesting the texture is. That's the coral from Panama. Coral from Panama. You have to be careful not to make too much of a sound with it. The next object I have is a wooden elephant. Now, this was gifted to me by my uncle and aunt. When they were in their 20s, they took off time to travel around the world, and they went to Africa, to South Africa, to Kenya, to Tanzania, to Uganda, and they brought back all sorts of souvenirs with them, including this wooden elephant, wood-carved, polished elephant, which I think is really beautiful. You can see its trunk, and its big ears, and its four stumpy legs, and its tail is connected to the back leg. I imagine that this would be a really amazing toy for a child to play with. It's a solid piece of wood, so it's not hollow, so it doesn't ring out all too much when you tap on it. And I don't really have nails to create that tingly sound that people love to hear. But it's really, really beautiful, especially in this early morning sunlight. Look at that. Yes. I hope that you can hear the sounds of the morning outside. Right now there's a bird cawing and people are driving past my apartment. I live in the back room of an apartment, so I face a parking lot, so not the most beautiful view. However, I think that it faces east, I believe, and so the sun comes in early in the morning, which I love. I love east-facing windows. The next object I have is a clay creamer. This is from the Lexington and Concord National Historic Site in Massachusetts, in the USA. I myself am from New England, and every year we would go to Lexington and watch the battle reenactments, because my father is, like a lot of dads, a fan of war reenactments. But one year at the Lexington and Concord Historic Site, I bought this clay creamer that was sculpted, potted, to look like similar styles from the American colonial era. I really, really appreciate this leaf motif on here. I think it's really, really quite simple and beautiful. In an era before minimalism, when minimalism was kind of just existed in the form of practical everyday objects, before high art kind of claimed it as a style. You know, these abstract motifs, the everyday art of the people, really captured that essence centuries before. And if you look at indigenous and non-Western art, you will see all sorts of abstract forms, even in Irish art, what is called insular or Celtic art. Hiberno-Celtic art shows these abstract forms centuries, if not millennia, before the abstract art movement itself. So I'm going to take another sip of my coffee. delicious. The coffee I am drinking this morning is a caramel roast coffee, so it's quite tasty. And I tend to put a little too much sugar in it, so it tastes very saccharine. The sun is going back out. It was hidden behind a cloud. Let's move on to our next object. So this is a piece of ivory from the island of Okinawa. This was purchased in the 1960s or 70s, I believe, by my great aunt, who worked as a teacher. She was an English teacher at the army bases in Okinawa, and she brought back many, many, many souvenirs. She's a very fascinating woman. She was a closeted lesbian at the time and left America for other parts of the world where she thought she could better express her identity. And one of those places was Okinawa. Another one of those places was the Azores. So I have some ivory from the Azores as well. Of course, the ivory trade is illegal nowadays, but some pieces still exist from back when it was a different sort of trade, and a lot of domestic art was made from ivory. But this is a rather beautiful piece. You can see the pattern. You can see the pattern on the kimono that he is wearing. Kimono in Japanese means thing that it can be worn, or piece of clothing. You can see there is a little stamp or carved name somewhere. I can read some Japanese, but that is a little too hard to read. Apart from Irish, I also speak some Japanese and some Spanish and some Greek, if I can remember it well enough, but it's been years since I've spoken Greek. So that is the ivory sculpture from Okinawa. The next two objects are from the same location. This small glass jug and these bells, which I am going to be very careful with because they're very fragile, but also very, very noisy. I'm going to move the incense out of the way. Are both from the Palestinian city of Hebron, and they are religious sites from Islam and Judaism, because, as many people know, that area, the Levant in general, is home to many sacred sites of the Abrahamic religions. So, bells from Hebron. And you can see in the sunlight where the glaze didn't completely cover the glass, that this is actually blue glass. It's quite beautiful. It's shining through the glaze here and on the rim here. And if you look deep in there inside, you can see a blue halo where the glaze didn't completely cover. Let's move on to the next object. But before that, I'm going to take a sip of coffee. So the next object is a rather long object. This is from my grandfather's house. It is a ruler that is used for maps, and so it is built in the shape of like a Toblerone bar, a triangle, an extruded triangle, so that it can be laid down on a map like this and moved around. And there is a motif here of ships and a map of the world on both sides, the Mercator projection, map of the world. There's a sunrise here and multiple long ships, like ships from like colonizing powers like England or France or something. And this was made using lasercraft, so it's by no means a historic object. It's I'm sure it's from like the 70s or something. But it is it's quite beautiful, and I love to have it on my bookshelf, and I actually do use it on occasion. My grandfather was a very well-traveled man. He went all over the United States and Canada. He loved to hike and backpack and whatnot. And he, I am kind of dedicating this ASMR channel to him because he was a bit of a druid, a tree. This is ASMR Triacht, the Irish word for magic. And he taught me quite a lot about Irish Celtic mythology, the Irish language I learned from him, and as well as kind of certain forms of mysticism. I'm making it sound like he's some sort of shaman, but no, he's just a grumpy old Irish American man who had a fascination with the ancient druids and would tell me stories. Like, he would read to me stories from Celtic mythology and tell me and encourage me to keep learning my Irish. That's why I have built this channel to keep reading and sharing it with the world and promoting it. this is a cheap object. This was, I think, $14 at the Metropolitan Museum in New York during their Tutankhamun exhibit back in 2006. I got this when I was just a child. Like many children of my generation, I have an obsession with mythology, be it Greek or Egyptian, Norse or Celtic. And I really, really love Egyptian mythology in particular. I think it's fascinating the way that their understanding of death and their understanding of life, and how that all relates to the movements of the sun, how the east is the place of birth and the west is the place of death. I find it really, really beautiful and fascinating. So that's the last object I have for today. Now I hope you enjoyed this ASMR video. Again, ASMR is so associated with the evening, with falling asleep, with going to bed. But I would like to see more videos of waking up with ASMR, setting your day, putting together your morning routine with ASMR videos. So if you would like to see more morning ASMR, please let me know in the comments. I would love, love, love to keep doing these videos. And I love just sitting here in the sun. It's so peaceful and so wonderful. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Enjoy your morning. In Irish, we say Maidin wa. Maidin wa. Maidin wa. Maidin wa means good morning. Or you can also say Maidin, 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 and that means on the morning. On the morning. Maidin. So that's a little Irish lesson for you, for those who are listening for Irish. There will be plenty more videos as Gaeilge in the future. As always, please like and subscribe. And our incense stick is almost done. We have a little bit left. Slán agus banna.